Splice TV Live. Splice, what's good? We're back with another beat battle, this time with a feedback session / announcing the winners of our Stargate battle. We have Mikhail from Stargate. It feels so strange to tell people who Stargate is, but I'm going to just list a few production credits off the top of my head, just to give them an idea. Beyonce, Katy Perry, Charlie XCX, Wiz Khalifa, Rita Ora, Neo, Mariah Carey. Are those all accurate?
Those are all accurate. And of course, we've done a lot of work with Rihanna over the years. So.
And Rihanna's one of the biggest ones. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Stargate, yes. Been in the industry for a very long time. Norwegian duo. We had a wonderful Q&A in our Discord server. We have some highlights there y'all can check out or ask around. But we want to talk about what Stargate started, which is a music production school. And the winner today gets basically a free ride through the full course of the school. Do you want to tell them what the school is about and what the winner gets today?
Yes, it's actually a music academy. It's a program. It's a 1-year high-level program for producers, writers, and artists. And it's all about mentorship and collaboration. So we have some of the best mentors in the game coming every Monday, usually, at least in the beginning of the year. We have people like Benny Blanco and Ali Tamposi, Diplo, Emily Warren, Tiesto, Ryan Tedder, Jossie, Afrojack, Tommy Brown, and ourselves, and like these amazing producers, writers, and artists coming and sharing their wisdom and telling how they did it and about their craft, and also giving feedback on songs.
Amazing. And when did you all open this? When did it start? How new is it? We've
been running it for 1 year. So we kind of graduated one class, even though it's not a school per se, but really, really good feedback and really rewarding as well to be around such amazing talent and young energy. And there's some really good songs coming out of it as well, that they're getting real cuts and real placements and releases.
That's amazing. And what was the motivation? You know, there's a lot of things you all could do. So why start an academy?
think we wanted to do something that we wish existed when we came up. So it's, of course, it's giving back to the next generation and sharing what we've learned the last 25 years in the business. But also, like, again, like just being around that energy and pulling from it, there might be amazing ideas coming our way that we can utilize, and just being around that creative energy is the main motivation.
Nice. Awesome. Fantastic. All right. We've got 10 amazing submissions. I think what we're going to do is just listen to them. We'll start at number 10 and go through one. And then, you know, you share your thoughts, feedback. We'll have some questions in between. We'll have some fun listening. And at the end, we'll see who's taking away that you know, that free ride to the Academy.
Amazing.
Sounds good. All right, great. All right, so we're going to start with number 10, which is Nakuli, I believe. That's the 10th submission.
So
Nice.
that's really, really hard. I like how you took the theme and kind of made it your own in a way, and made kind of a synth version of that theme, because originally it was like a guitar sample, right? But you kind of took the melodic essence of it and changed it a little bit. But I really like how you kind of made it your own, and it has kind of this kind of more 80s type feel. The intro is definitely my favorite part. I think when it goes into the halftime, it's a little bit dragging maybe. So I would have maybe just based it on what you're doing in the intro and then kept going with that, but maybe taken some elements out or filtered it or something like that. Really dope bass playing. I like the bass sound. Drums are cool. Could maybe hit a little bit harder, but overall, I think this is a really dope sound and original. Definitely
Nice.
Usable.
Do you have a technique if you've done your drums and you're still trying to get them to hit a little harder, or is it just the traditional, you know, compression saturation, or do you have that trick that's like?
Yeah, sometimes it could be interesting to just, when you have the beat and the pattern and you're happy with it, just try to change out like your main kick and snare and see what happens, or kind of a different type of sound. And also usually at the end, we tend to just turn the drums up a couple of dBs. That's
Sneak them up a touch, yeah.
Yeah, we've never regretted that. It's not like you hear it on the radio or on the finished mix. It's like, fuck, we shouldn't have turned up those drums.
Yeah. Right.
Very rarely.
Right.
But, yes.
Nice.
But
Okay.
overall, a really, really dope version. And it's so melodic that it's very easy to write to, which is it's a great thing.
Always a plus. And we should mention, for those who are not aware of the battle, for this, Stargate gave us basically a sample for everyone to use as a source and inspiration, right? So you'll hear some familiar themes throughout the submissions. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go to Game Breaker Droid. Let's listen to that one.
Damn.
All right.
That was super different. I didn't almost recognize it at all. If I didn't know you used the sample, I wouldn't have known, which is cool, because that's the point as well. Like, why just use it exactly the way it is? Because interesting things can happen if you just use segments of something, or reverse it, or pitch it, or chop it, or do something like that. So definitely unique and different sounding. I like that you just took a few elements of it and used different parts of it. One is that bang, bang, bang sample, and then kind of the reverse lower version of it as well. And they kind of blend together in a cool way. It has kind of a hypnotic feel to it. It's more like hip hop leaning. Again, maybe I think the drums could hit a little bit harder or a little bit different. If it was my choice, but and maybe it doesn't sound like completely finished, but that also doesn't have to be a negative thing. Sometimes it could be cool to have just like a sketch of an idea, and it doesn't sound too polished when you're playing it to an artist or a top liner. Sometimes they just want kind of a rough starting point. So I definitely think there's something here, and yeah, so good job.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. Great. Great feedback.
It's like one thing I thought about is like it's so different than the original sample. There's a record we made a long time ago with Neo called Closer. That's based on a guitar sample that some friends of us from Norway sent us. And originally it was like a 6/8 resolution guitar riff. And then we just kind of chopped it up and used parts of it. And that's the basis for the whole song, for the Closer song. But we turned it into a 4/4 beat and totally changed the whole feel of it. But
nice.
But we wouldn't have made that to begin with if we didn't have that sample. So.
And is it because, I mean, was it like this? We can't work in this 6/8. Let's try and chop it and see what we get, like, creatively.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of obscure the way it was, so we kind of forced it into this other time resolution, which made it a lot easier to write on.
Right. And unique.
So yeah, for sure.
Nice. Awesome. Great. Sauce behind the tracks with Stargate. Okay. The next track we've got is Tlpck.
Yes.
I won't try and make that a word. So Tlpck. Clean. Nice.
Sweet. Yeah. This is a great example of when simplicity is really good. I think this is a lot more kind of true to the original format of the sample in a way, but it's also very well done and really well executed. Super current sounding with kind of that slight dancehall vibe. The drums are really crisp and hard hitting. You could those are going to sound amazing out of your phone, right?
Yeah.
So maybe not the most kind of original, but very solid, tight sounding, and again easy to write to. I really like the kind of organy sounds that the person added to it as well. I think that's dope, and also really well. Like the dynamic is great, like going into what I hear as the chorus with that little drum fill and taking everything out and then adding the sub bass coming in. And that's enough. That's a complete beat right there, and very very easy to write a song on.
Right. And do you ever find, as you're creating, knowing that, you've got a line on so many high level placements, do you pull things back to make sure that there's room, or do you all kind of go with your vision, or do you find you're like, oh, this is really great, but Rihanna's gonna have a hard time writing to this?
Absolutely, we're very conscious about that, and that's something like growing up, I like threw a million elements in there, and now, because I was just sitting there and listening to the track, right? You want it to be exciting and things to happen all the time, and it to sound complete. But then there's no room for vocals, so it's really important to both like the amount of elements you put in there, but also the frequencies, so that they don't compete with the vocals. So definitely keep it as simple as possible. Try to find the core and the essence of your melodic element and your melodic idea. But yeah, leave room for the vocals.
Right. Yep. Excellent. All right, cool. Going to number 7. This is Joelle, Yoel. Yep. Listen.
Sick. What's the policy here? Are we allowed to swear, or is that no?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I was just about, this sounds loud as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like whatever you did, it sounds like 5 dB louder than the other ones. So so that's great. I mean, that's a really good thing. You want it to hit hard and not be too squashed, of course, because it's easy to just like throw a bunch of finalizers and stuff on there, and but that doesn't make it great. You still want the transient of the drums to be there, and but still, so retain that, but still want it to sound loud. So I like the tempo and the vibe of this, and the atmosphere. I like the thick like re-space that you added in there, and again the 808s and drums hit really hard. There's just something with the timing of the drums here and there that you could look at. I don't know if that's like just on purpose, or if it's like a quantizing thing or something, but again, sounds very compact and current and open and easy to write to, like we talked about on the other one. Yeah, so it's dope.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, dope. Moving on to number 6, DJ Shear Stress. Let's check it out.
So my mind could just see, so my mind don't erupt. At times I feel I can't get enough, but I sip a double cup and I spin a couple dubs. Sending out some love to my blood, to my girls, to my buds, to the homie up above. And no more time for bigging up to these fakes who ain't around when the time's getting rough.
Nice. Classic hip hop stuff, old school, and really jazzy as well. I love jazz. I actually grew up playing a lot of jazz, all the standards and stuff like that. So this is cool. I think I don't know how it was created, but there's a lot of great music in there, like the live bass and all those kind of jazzy piano atmos things. And the music is very soulful, which I like. It sounds rich and warm, and I like the drums as well when it switches up there. It's interesting. I don't know if are the vocals a sample, or is that original, the rap?
That's a good. I wonder if Sheer Stress is in the crowd. I know that Sheer Stress, you know, all these people are in Discord, so some of them I'm familiar with from being in there, and I know that he's a sampler. You know, he's a throwback. I feel like it might have been him rapping.
Well, if it is, regardless, it sounds dope. But so the only thing I would say is like, this beat might be better without our sample, to be honest. It's because it's almost like some of the notes are jarring a little bit compared to like what he's doing. So that might be worth doing, actually making a version without that in it.
Nice.
But I like it.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Great. All right. Let's go on to number 5, which is Teo.
Crazy. I love this. That's a dope beat. That's instantly exciting. It has this kind of dramatic, fat and dangerous feel. Totally different temperature than the other ones, but it still kept it simple. What I really like are those like counter melodies that you put in there. Those kind of filtered melodic themes. I think it's a little bell thing that comes in. And I'm a sucker for great drone sounds, so I love that. And the sub really grounds it and makes it like thick and fat. So that's a dope beat.
Nice. Had a very cinematic, you know, sweeping cinematic. Like it could be a song or it could be a trailer, right?
Right. Yeah. Strings are really good too. Like they sound maybe the sound is a little bit kind of MIDI sounding right now, but you could easily kind of fatten those up. I use a lot of contact strings. There are some libraries there that are really good. Like Hollywood strings is another one that could be good for these kind of big cinematic things.
And what DAW do y'all use? You still use Pro Tools?
Yeah, we're actually Pro Tools from start to finish, which a lot of people are not, at least when it comes to the beat making part of it.
Yeah.
But it was pretty shitty for a minute, but now they've caught up and you can do pretty much everything that the others can. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's all about like what you put into it and how you use the tools and of course your melodic ideas and the song, right?
That's right. That's right.
But they're all really, really amazing now. And we talked about it last time too, the fact that you now can use tools like Splice and Bridge, and you can throw like elements in, you can monitor live in the right pitch and time and everything while the song is playing. It's just like mind-blowing coming from the 80s when you had to do everything kind of manually and sync things up. It was a disaster.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. It's good time. It's a good time to make music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's in a way easier than ever because you have this vast library of sounds and ideas. but but it could also be a little bit overwhelming because there's
Sure.
so much stuff there. So sometimes it could be good to limit yourself to use fewer
Yes.
tools.
Yeah.
So like set up, like instead of having 40 soft synths up, like choose your 5 or 10 best ones and have like templates and kits that you love, and use that as a starting point, so you can let the creativity flow instead
right.
of getting lost in some sound or
Right.
or going through a million presets before
That's
starting.
right. Yeah. Trying to find the perfect thing. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before you even start. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome advice. Okay. So that was Teo. So now we're moving on to Romaine 9292. All right, let's listen.
Nice.
Right.
I wanna.
A lot of music there.
Yes, I wanna go jamming right now. I
Yeah.
wanna, like, get on stage and bring out my talk box and
Not the talk box.
yes,
Amazing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's obviously very different than all the other ones so far. More kind of live sounding band vibes. I'm guessing they put live bass and other guitar parts on there as well to complement it, which I really like. Again, it doesn't sound nothing like the original sample sonically. So you can now easily remove the original sample and just use the new elements that you made, which is dope. Yeah, what else? I do like the little Juno synth part that's coming in as well. I think that's a nice touch. Yeah, overall really good sounding. Of course, it's very, I wouldn't say like, yeah, maybe a little limiting when you go all like jam session on it with solos and a lot of drum fills, and if you're thinking to write a song on it. But if it's just like a nice piece of music, it doesn't matter. So it's whatever the purpose of it is as well, of course.
I think that's something that a lot of contestants sort of battle with, forgive me, is that tendency of like, do I make something that's impressive, or do I make something that works as a song, right?
Yeah.
And it always just depends, right? It just depends on, what the judge wants to hear. And it's hard to strike that balance, but that's the balance that, in order to place, like, that you have to figure out.
Right.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Good.
So now that was Romaine 9292. We are on to Giro, Jiro, number 3, getting into the top 3 now. Let's hear Giro.
Yes. That's dope as well. Also another like really loud sounding, urgent sounding version.
Urgent, yes, that's
Yes,
a good
very,
one.
very urgent. Maybe it was my headphones might have been distorting it a little bit, so sometimes you can push it a little too hot, but definitely like the tempo and the urgency and kind of it sounds really full and finished and very, very easy to work on and to write to. I could definitely hear this on radio or Spotify or something for sure. So so again, like maybe a little more, call it conventional, but that's not necessarily a negative thing.
Yep.
So also sometimes it's great to have starting points like that. And then once you get the song on it, then you can even change up the music or add all other elements to complement the vocal afterwards. So not distract the songwriter, but then you add interesting things once you have the song. You could even remix the whole thing. Once you have the vocal, you throw away the music and you see what else is in there. You see maybe if I change the chords a little bit, then something exciting happens. Or you could take another beat that you have that's dope and do a mashup. We've done that a few times.
Wow. Yeah.
Actually, another Neo record we did called Miss Independent that we actually got a Grammy for, which was pretty crazy. It started. We really wanted Neo to write to this specific beat, but he gravitated towards another one, which was more kind of a piano ballad type beat, and it was like, okay, like we'll just have to let him go with what is inspired by. But then afterwards, when the song was done, we took the beat that we wanted and mashed up with the song, and that's how Miss Independent was made.
Wow. So the piano from the old ballad is still in there, mashed up with the beat you wanted them, or you took it out completely?
The original piano is not there, but the original piano is playing the melody he's singing. It was bam 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 bam. So that inspired him to write the melody. But then we put the beat that we thought was hot, was a ba 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 ba,
yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. Then we mashed that up, and it sounded dope.
That's incredible because, I mean, obviously when you hear the song, it sounds like this is how it always was meant to be,
right?
But you might not write something kind of that smooth over that original beat, you know?
Exactly.
You might want to try and match it, and that's like an amazing
100%. And that's always try to look for that balance. If the beat is sweet and nice, then you want like a hard-hitting top line. But if the beat is kind of edgy and hard, you can have a sweet melody on top.
That's right. Nice. That's amazing. Great. Love that story. All right, we're down to the top two. And just a reminder for those who've tuned in, we are going to get a winner who's going to get a free year to the LAMP Academy that Stargate created a year ago. So you'll be in the second class of this, right? This will be the second year they'll be enrolling in, right?
Yes. Right.
Yep. Nice. And yeah, so we're down to the last two. Let's listen to Bohemian Crew. Let's see what they got.
Whoa.
Well then,
I didn't see this coming out. Wow, when we made this loop, we definitely didn't think about like Brazilian favela funk. So, but really love the tempo of this and the energy. And so again, like talking about balance, you have the emotion of the music, but then you have a hard ass beat on it. And I love that you used both kind of a chopped up version of the sample plus a sped up, like a double tempo version of it or pitched up version of it. That really works. You kind of stay true to the chords, but since the tempo and feel is so different, it makes it exciting. I also really like the transition when you go from the favela funk in the intro to the half tempo trap beat, and that those fat 808s and there's also kind of a lot of lush effects and droney stuff that's swerving in the background there. That's really dope. And then you introduced a new theme too, that that little plucky ethnic guitar. I think that's dope. We're actually now we work with an artist called Anita, who's a Brazilian superstar. And this beat is definitely something that I would play for her. Like she would potentially be into this vibe.
Nice. There it goes. Opportunities abound. Yeah.
Yes.
Really.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's really something when, especially after listening to a lot of submissions and something, you're just like, what's happening? You're just like, it pulls you in and you're waiting for the next thing. And that did that really well. Yeah. Very impressive. Okay, cool. So we are now at the top submission. This got the most votes in the community. Some of y'all might have heard of this guy before. It's Michael Bruner. So let's listen to Bruner's submission.
I never wanted what you wanted. Might be hard for you to stomach, but it's on your face. Laying naked alone. Try to keep it unknown, that won't last long. You've been taking my time. I know you will, you don't mean well, so I'll be the falling line. I never wanted what you wanted. Might be hard for you to stop it, but it's on your face. Let me go my way.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that. That's a really, really good song. And it's, of course, it sounds complete because it has a top line and melodies and it sounds like something that's already on the radio.
Yeah. And the guitar line was chopped up, right? It was
totally different. It's super creative use of the sample. I don't understand how you got those chords out of that sample.
Gonna have to break it down.
Exactly, yeah, because obviously you took segments and then pitched them to different keys and then put them together in a different order or something, because definitely really creative and interesting use of the sample. This shows you like how much you can get out of something by just chopping it up and being creative. So that and that's the thing, because like again, going back to now, we all have access to the same samples, so we can easily fall into the trap of all our beats sounding the same and all the songs on the radio sounding the same because it's the same sample. So it's more important than ever to kind of use them in your own creative way, right? So that you stand out, because I mean, there's almost 100,000 songs released on Spotify every single day. So then how do you stand out? You need to have something, some sort of element in your music or song that's a little bit different. And that's what we try to do at LAMP too, to like help you find your voice and elevate you and take you to the next level. But this is a really dope song. I really like the top line as well. The melodies are great, very kind of dry and direct, modern sounding. Lyrics could maybe come out a little bit clearer, but melodies are great. I like the little pizzicato string things you put in there, and this is solid. It's tight.
It's also great, you know, you find with beat battles, there's always like the drums, like you're talking about punchy drums. It's always like slamming hi-fi drums, but these were like very warm, right? Dark, you know, the snare was kind of dark and tucked, but still felt it, right? It was still rhythmic. I feel like that's almost like taking a chance in a beat battle, like, because you know, I guess if you have a good top line, it works, but they were subdued, right? The drums had this very like, you know, muffled quality that worked really well.
Yeah, true. They're like a ball that hits you in the stomach instead
That's
of
right.
like a
That's right. There it is. Yeah.
So
Okay,
really dope.
amazing. That was the top 10. Is there anything that you want to listen to again, just to review? Do you feel like you got everything you needed from listening to these 10?
I think I got what I need. What was the name of the number 10?
Number 10 was
VA.
Nakuli, Nakuli.
Nakuli, and that was the more kind of 80s sounding one, right?
That
Was
the first one we heard,
VA.
yeah. Do you want to hear a little snippet just to?
Yes, please.
Yeah, can we play a little snippet of Nakuli?
Thank you.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was dope.
Well,
Yeah,
cool.
some amazing submissions, and I'm super impressed again by the diversity and how you took something kind of this kind of plain, and then you made it yours and made it exciting. So congrats to everyone on that. Like, really good job. And
now the hard part.
The beauty of music, there is no right or wrong, right? Like it's all about like how you use it in your own way and express yourself. And music is so amazing because it's one of the few universal languages in the world. And but there's also a reason why we gravitate to the same songs, right? It has to have some sort of magic or give you goosebumps or give you a special type of emotion. So we're always kind of looking for those moments. Does it have that special moment or that special feeling? Right. And then selecting from these, even though they're all really good, it's like what gives you that feeling, and that's what I try to go on every single day.
Yeah, and it's really hard to pinpoint and explain it. I think we're always looking for ways to explain how to even execute such a thing, and it you know, it's just something you end up picking up, right? It's like you do it enough, and then you go, okay, I know this is going to hit because I've done this, you know. Yeah, this is great. I'm really looking forward to, you know, someone from this competition experiencing this academy, which sounds great, which is something a lot of us wish, like you said, we had, you know, when we're coming up. So the tough part now is who is that going to be? Who is the lucky entry to join the LAMP Academy for the next year?
Yes, it's really hard because they're all really good. Originally, we're gonna select 3 winners to our online program, which is a 5K value, and you get to follow everything that's going on, and you get to collaborate, and you get feedback and be part of the community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that we have 5 winners instead of 3. So
half the list.
Yes,
that's right.
It's just too good. I can't decide. Wow. So yeah, do you want me to just announce the winners?
I think just yeah, let them know who's going. That's all amazing. Right.
Brilliant. So first off, Michael Bruner,
welcome to the academy.
Amazing.
Welcome to the academy, Michael.
You're definitely in. Number 2, Bohemian crew, very original. I love those guys, or whoever that is, the girl or a guy. Number 3, Teo, nice. Totally killed it. Tlpck.
All right.
And lastly, Nakuli. which we heard.
Nice. All right. So Bruner, Bohemian Crew, Teo, Tlpck, and Nakuli are all going for a full year free ride to the Lamp Academy, courtesy of Stargate.
Congratulations, guys.
Congrats,
Can't wait
everybody.
to meet you all, and then keep listening to your music and seeing you develop.
Amazing. Mikhail, we can't thank you enough for taking the time. You know, we know you've got a busy schedule. We know you've got, you know, family. And so spending this time with us and blessing us with this knowledge and this insight and these stories, very grateful for. Thanks to you and Tor for also just like keeping our ears entertained over the years.
Thank you, Devin. I really appreciate it. And actually right now I could show you, I'm in Cabo. We're doing a session out here with Sweetie this week. So it could be worse.
Sweetie!
Yes.
Don't tell my wife, but that's my girlfriend.
Oh, no, don't talk about it. She's super
awesome.
dope.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. Love her. Fantastic. Thank you again. Congrats to the winners. Make sure you reach out to Splice, the Splice account on Discord. If y'all are not on our Discord, please join the Discord so that you can have more opportunities in battles like this. Thanks again, Mikhail. Shout out to Stargate. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. See you on the next one.
See you soon.